The first ones came to me just because I had a few rescues. So I'd feed them and they'd keep coming. And this was a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago. And innocently I thought all dogs would be adoptable, all dogs would be adopted, because after having them a few days, I discovered just how special they were. But then you realize sometimes it's the outside that people care more about than the inside. And then some would get adopted, others would not. So I decided I'd keep them. I said, well, if nobody wants them, this is their home. That was at my place. So we ended up having about 100 at my place. So I have this farm. It belonged to my grandfather. When he passed away, he passed it on to me.
How do you do feeding time?
Feeding time, we have troughs.
Okay.
Very much like cattle.
Oh, okay.
So we have low troughs. They eat 18 sacks, 30 kilo sacks a day. They eat once a day, but they eat as much as they want.
Okay.
So we empty out about 6. And those 6 sacks will attract usually the biggest or the strongest or the bossiest, and they'll start eating first. And then the shyer ones come. And towards the end, I mean, we just leave 2 or 3 sacks out when everybody seems to have eaten, but we leave it out so that the ones that want seconds, or the very little ones, or the very old ones, if they want to come and they just really need hardly any company, they will be able to get their food.
Hey, I'm behind you, and I'm behind you too. Hi. You don't have to leave. You don't have to leave. Okay. So, hey, you want to be in here? Want to be in here, or you just want to be in here? Hey, that wasn't fair. That wasn't fair. That's King of the Mountain at its finest. Did you see that? Let's try that again. Okay, I want to get back up there. He's saying no, you're not one of the best. No, yeah, he doesn't want me up there. But I'm going anyway. Watch this. My life! Yeah! You work all week just to feed these guys. I know the story.
To feed these guys and feed myself. So I produce a little bit. Alvaro also produces a little bit. And the rest we work on donations. We sell, when the walks are here, when we start the walks, we make t-shirts and mugs and we sell stuff with our logo and with pictures, and that way we make, for example, usually we put out a calendar every year, and what we make for the calendar usually covers their vaccination. You can either do one-time donation, or you can sign up to be a sponsor monthly, and you decide if you want to sponsor, I don't know, the vet care of 1 dog per year, or there's different kinds of packages, and it's pretty simple to use, I understand. So those are our 2 main incomes. That's Puppy. That's Marcela's little baby, and she can't walk. That's medical malpractice. Thanks to her, Puppy can't walk. But Marcela's her legs, her sphincter, her everything.
Wow.
She carries her everywhere. She has to empty her bladder and her intestines every 3 hours.
Really?
Really her bladder, but her intestine comes with it when she's massaging her. These things you don't think about until somebody shows you. And so a lot of people, we've had people go, oh, one of our dogs was hit by a car and they had to cut off one of his legs, and I said, no, put him down. I don't want him to have to live without a leg. And I'm going, we have 3 without legs here. You wouldn't even tell. But so people need to know. And Marcela's done a lot towards that. Look at this.
Watch your step.
Look. That's not a hole, that's a tunnel.
I'm not going in there.
Yep.
Listen, who am I? Lisa Smith Putnam. I'm here with Lya. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name because all week long I've been pronouncing it wrong. Here's the deal though. Can you say it correctly for me? Where are we?
Territorio De Zaguates.
Look at this big fish.
Oh, that's Chancha, that's Piggy.
Piggy?
And Piggy loves jumping up on people.
Piggy is...
But look at the rock she chews on. And we have to let her come up with a rock, and that way she doesn't get into trouble. So she walks all the way up with a rock. She's happy.
Not the lips, not the lips, not the lips. Not the lips. Oh my God, you are too cute.
The most important thing we want to stress to any person who adopts a dog is he's on trial. If anything doesn't work, if the dog doesn't fit into your home, or if you don't really warm up to the dog, if something's not right, especially, I mean, there's dogs here that are the most chill dog in the world. The moment they know it's their place, they start guarding it sometimes. Yeah. And it's like, hey, my husband can't come home if I'm not there already because he won't let him in. It's like, okay, wait. So
some people might like that.
Some people might want that. But see, so these things happen. I understand we're talking about little souls here. So it's not a chair that you may not give it to anybody else. Yeah. You may not, of course not, put it back on the street. And if he escapes, let us know. We publish it. We say, hey, it's happened a few times. We'll help you find him. Yeah.
I'm a little dirty. I'm a little beat up. But you know what? I would do it over and over again because it's the love that we bring, not only to each other, but also the wonderful animals. So I encourage all of you guys today to go love on your pet kids and make a difference in those animals that don't have a home in their lives as well. There's over 1,300 dogs here. I think each one of them know that we love giving love. So for right now, adios, as they say in Costa Rica, where I come from, Seattle, California. We just say bye-bye. Don't be alarmed by the little yip. Sometimes they step on things. That's why I have on my big boots. My big Sketcher boots. Take care, and we'll see you next time on Simply Pets Lifestyle. Bye, only for now. Okay, we're just gonna, hey. Okay, well, they want to, hi boy.
Just to give you an idea, these dogs eat approximately $760 some a day.
One more
That's
time.
They eat around under 760 something dollars a day. That's just their food. Then the salaries for these guys, they have to be sensitive to the dogs. They have to love the dogs to the point that eventually they come up and they go, you know what, such and such a dog hasn't been behaving like it usually does. No, dogs are here to help you. Okay, you want to get up or you want more dogs?
So you take the dogs on this hike, or not you, or everyone?
Every day they go on a hike. Oh no, every day they go on a hike. Sometimes it's not this long. Sometimes we go to where their little future swimming pool will be, and then they come back down. When a guy has to come up here for any reason to fix a fence or to check on the pipes, most dogs in his pack will follow him. So sometimes they get 2 walks a day. So they're always, we try to keep them enclosed during the night, basically because we don't want them running out after critters in the dark.
If a critter came on this property, heaven help them.
Yeah.
You can do anything but lick me in my face.
So this area, this used to be a house.
Which is a lot to be said for people that only have one dog.
And I keep saying, how do you think they'd look, or what do you think their story would be if they were still on the street? Do you think they'd be doing any better? No.
So now, what happens with these dogs? Right
Okay, these here are the ones that are in some kind of a treatment. Those are puppies, probably by the sound. So we keep those separate, or with their moms.
Yeah.
She loves it. She
Don't
grabs-
eat through my clothes.
They're all so loving, so trusting,
Yeah.
nevertheless.
And it seems like you know almost every single one of their names.
I tell
their
the guys,
history of.
when the guys don't know their names, I go, you give them a name, you call them by something, and we'll figure it out later. Because sometimes it happens all the time. It's like, I need pictures of Bonichela because somebody wants to adopt a dog with her characteristics. It's like, Bonichela. They ask Maria Fernanda who Bonichela is. So then Maria Fernanda comes back and goes, sí, Llaverito. And I go, what do you mean Llaverito? Yeah, well, we call her Llaverito because she's always, Llaverito's keychain. She's always tugging at anything we have that's hanging out of her. I go, okay, so she's Bonichela and Llaverito. She responds to both. So as long as they're being called something, I think.
The human.
Yes.
Yeah, then they, yeah.